You are live, sir. Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to believe, June 1st, where is 2026 going? Not because I'm getting older, but the calendar sure does seem to speed along, doesn't it? This morning, I will lead us in invocation and pledge. If you're able to rise in this room, please do so. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful June 1st morning here of this year. We thank you for our military and our first responders as they still make this one of the greatest places in the world to live. As in a little over a month, we will celebrate our 250th birthday as a nation. Be with us today as we contemplate and act on business for Bartholomew County and its residents. And thank you finally for all the many blessings that you give each and every one of us every day that we are so undeserving of. In thy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item here on the agenda is approval of the minutes of May 18th and May 21st.
I will move to approve our minutes.
And I will second that motion. Motion been made by Larry and seconded to approve the minutes. Those two meeting minutes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Motion carried. Next up is the approval of claims.
I'll move to approve our claims.
And I will second that as well. Motion made by Larry and seconded to approve claims. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed.
Carl, I will move that we get paid by the motion today.
Okay. I'll see if I can beat you to the punch a time or two. Motion or claims been approved. Next up, I want to approve or instruct our county attorney to go ahead and open the bids we received for our highway project at the end of the meeting. So go ahead, Jim, and get those opened. Our new permit report for last 2 weeks. The week of the 18th, we had 31 permits issued. Fees collected $6,032. Estimated value of construction $2,507,587. And then the week of the 25th through the 29th, we actually had 40 permits issued. Fees collected $8,873 with the estimated value of construction $8,968,567. Of note that earlier week, $1.2 million was for foundation work for the new Barcons Federal Credit Union. And then last week, $1,073,000 was a commercial remodel at 9th Avenue Foods. And then $2,795,651 is a Cummins Engine Company commercial remodel. So continued a lot of big activity with big numbers. And as I was reading and thinking about that, prior to COVID, gosh, if we had a $2 million week, it was big, wasn't it? And now a $2 million week is average. Yeah. And if it says anything, and all of you can probably attest to it, in the last 5 years, cost of everything has just really expanded. So anyway, those reports are always available up in code enforcement if anyone cares to take a look. Our next item on our agenda, we have Rachel Floor David with us this morning. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
We are great. This is something that I think we do every year with you. And I'm just going to let you tell us about it, okay?
Okay, sounds good. So yep, I'm back again this year. This year total is Substance Abuse Council through collected funds were, we had a total of $62,181.78. We put that out to the community to apply for grant assistance for any program that would fall within the prevention, education, treatment, intervention, or justice law enforcement categories to combat substance abuse here in Bartholomew County. We had something interesting happen this year, and we actually did not have enough applications to deplete all of those funds. So, some of that I think was just people are being very resourceful and finding other funds, but some of that also I think is coming from the fact that there's been some cuts in some programs that they no longer then have the capacity to continue programming, therefore they don't need the funds for the programs. Right now, prevention education category, we are recommending the allocations for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Bartholomew County at $6,000. Healthy Communities, which is run through Columbus Regional Health for $3,500. Turning Point Domestic Violence Services, $5,300, and St. Peter's LifeWorks, $850, for a total of $15,650 in the prevention education category. Treatment intervention category would be Community Downtown, Community Church of Columbus at $4,255. Columbus Regional Health Physicians Task, treatment and services, $8,000, and then Transformational Living Ministries at $1,500 for a total of $13,755. And then Justice and Law Enforcement, Columbus Police Department has requested, and we are recommending allocation of $9,448.50. So total that we are requesting today to be allocated out is $38,853.50. That does leave us with $23,328.28 balance. Again, this is something we don't normally have. So we can, I believe there's a couple of different options that we have. I believe that the full amount of 62,000 and change was published to be allocated out. So we have done this before where it has been like, yep, we know the Substance Abuse Council is going to do what's right. We'll approve the full allocation to them, and then we will open up the application process again for that additional 23,000 once this initial process is finished, which will be the middle of this month. Or I am happy to open that back up and then come back, see you gentlemen again, and say, okay, we have further recommendations for the leftover 23,000. That is purely up to what you guys want to do.
There was an article, I think, in the paper Saturday where Whitney Lloyd and Turning Point has lost a lot of grant funding. My initial thought is we ought to go ahead and approve the allocations that she's got. And then
Go
if
back
your
to the
council
committee.
wants to come back
We're happy to have that.
and award some more money, you'll just have to come back and visit us twice.
I would love to do that.
Would that,
I think that's a good suggestion, Carl.
yeah,
Rachel, I have a question.
Absolutely.
The Transformational Living Ministries, is that a new one?
It is. We have never granted to them before.
Tell me about them. Who are they? What do they do?
So this is to support, it is recovery housing, and it is to support their curriculum that they provide within their housing. Basically, that will help.
So they do
Purchase
have a
curriculum.
housing unit.
And it'll help purchase curriculum that then those that are then moving out of that will be able to take that curriculum with them. So they continue to have that support is what they're asking for right now.
Okay. You know, I've always been very funny about, not funny, but seeing this kind of revenue going to churches. Now, the reality is we have some local churches that do a fabulous job. And I will put a plug in. St. Peter's has several programs delving into arenas that most of us don't want to delve into, and government does a terrible job of fixing it. So it's a good thing that churches do it, and St. Peter's has run several programs in the mental health arena, and also this one, Life Works. That's a totally separate effort,
Yes.
but great programs. Community Church of Columbus does some of that as well.
Yes.
And I just noticed that Transformational Living Ministries, I didn't remember seeing that before.
Like I said, they are a newer, my understanding is they are a newer recovery housing. And this is specifically for their clients in their recovery housing to
Okay.
support their recovery.
Good.
I will say also that I think some of, like we normally see, an additional request from St. Peter's for some treatment,
Mhm.
that helps offsets some costs for some of their clients. We did not receive that application this go around. I also feel like most of those that request funds from us, they try to be as conservative as they can, because in the past, we have always had way more requested than what we've had to allocate. So I think that is also why some of these numbers are low. So I do know that the full council was happy to hear that there may be some additional funds that they would be able to then reapply for.
Rachel, I just did the math because I wasn't quick enough to write your figure down. So
You're
you
good.
have allocated $38,853.50.
Correct.
I'd make a motion, we go ahead and allocate that amount of money to these initiatives by the Substance Abuse Council. And
Carl, we actually didn't vote on that motion that I made earlier about getting paid by the motion,
Oh.
so don't feel any pressure.
well,
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Motion made by myself and seconded that we award or allocate this $38,853.50 that the Substance Abuse Council has earmarked at this point.
And if you decide to come back, you're welcome to come back.
Oh, I will be back because they're not gonna let it sit on the table. So I have no doubt that I will be back.
Good.
All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Motion carried.
Wonderful.
Rachel.
Thank you,
Rachel,
gentlemen.
thank you for coming and
Yep.
you are welcome back, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Our next item today is with the planning department, and we have the assistant planning director, Melissa Bagley, with us. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
We are great. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Larry and I think we know what we're doing here with this item, but why
Okay.
don't you
Sure.
briefly brief our audience
Okay.
on what's going on here today?
So at the May 13th meeting, the Bartholomew County Plan Commission reviewed this above referenced application and is forwarding it to you. It's to rezone 1.11 acres from I2C, which is industrial general with commitments, to CR, commercial regional. And it's part of this North Point development there up at the intersection of where US 31 and I-65 kind of merge. And really the intent of it is to align this zoning with the plat that they recently came through with Plan Commission for. So they're creating a 27 lot subdivision there on that property. And one of the lots, the zoning just doesn't match up with the zoning line. The lot line don't match. So this is pretty straightforward where it's just adjusting the zoning to match the lot line.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
We do have the applicant here with us today. If anyone wants to question him, and he's welcome to speak. Harold, glad to have you here today. This being a ordinance, we have to have a public hearing, so I will open the meeting for any comments from the public for or against this rezoning. Seeing no comments, I will close that public hearing. And I think, as you said, Melissa, really what they're wanting to do is this 1.1 acres, 1.11 acres needs to have its zoning changed to match up with a
Adjacent.
9.73 acre tract. And turns out those two tracts just happen to have different, and they want to keep those or put those two tracts together as one. Okay, correct, Harold?
Carl, I'll make a motion on first reading that we approve the rezoning request.
And I'll second that. Motion made by Larry and seconded that we approve this rezoning request for Force Holdings LLC up in the Taylorsville area. And all in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Pretty straightforward. You want to do this next Monday for
Yeah.
the second reading?
If that works out, that'd be great.
We'll,
Good.
can you stand a week,
I-
Harold?
We can do that. Thank you very much.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could even suspend the rules, but we very, very seldom do that. So we'll just make Melissa come back next week and do it on second reading.
I can do that.
Okay, thank you both.
Thank you.
Have a good week. Next item on our agenda, we have the agreement here between Bartholomew County and Reed and Sons Construction for the Heflin Park Sanitary Force Main and Lift Station. And we have with us today John LaTurner from DLZ and Rich Day, our Parks Director. I don't know if Rich is here or not. Yes, Rich is there. You guys want to come forward? Are we, set to sign that agreement?
So
Everything on our end is set.
Is good, John?
Yes.
Okay.
Jim, you had a chance to review the contract? You're good?
We're good.
Any reason we should not enter into that contractual agreement?
No.
Okay.
We are, going to award and sign the contract with Reed and Sons Construction. I think they are out of Nashville,
Bloomington.
Bloomington. And this is a project up in the Heflin Park area. And the total with the alternates is $281,412.07. I'd make that motion that we go ahead and sign that agreement. And again, DLZ has done the legwork on making sure that contract and all the details are correct. And so we are good to go, Rich.
I'll second.
Motion made by myself and seconded to sign this contract with Reed and Sons Construction Incorporated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Our next item on the agenda, we have an agreement here concerning the auditor and the auditor's office. Larry, would you love to speak about this one?
I certainly will. Pia usually speaks to this and she's not with us today, so I will gladly do it. Every year we enter into an agreement to do a TIF neutralization. We have several TIF districts in Bartholomew County, most of which are in the city of Columbus. When TIFs are created, there is an agreement drafted that spells out exactly what entities are going to continue receiving the funds that they had always received. so that the TIF doesn't capture all of the tax revenue, protect schools, local governments. But at the end of each year, there's a neutralization done to make sure that those monies go to the entities that they're supposed to be going to. There has been occasion where we have found, and this has been several years ago, many years ago, where the monies weren't exact. So they were corrected. And I think, you know, with the amount of money, Josh is here and deals with that on the city side. There is so much money captured by TIF districts. And the neutralization is an important step to guarantee and ensure that our schools aren't getting hurt and local governments and townships, things like that, aren't getting hurt. So that's what we're about to enter into.
It's with a firm formerly known as SEH of Indiana, and it's now Development Economic Finance Consulting LLC. And this is a not to exceed contract, $5,000. And it has to be completed by July 31st of this year. So
Carl, I'll make a motion that we enter into that agreement for the
Okay.
total of $5,000.
and I will second that motion. Motion been made by Larry and seconded to enter into this agreement with Development Economic Finance Consulting LLC, not to exceed $5,000 for TIF neutralization assistance. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Motion carried. All right,
I'm pretty sure, Carl, that as part of our annual State Board of Accounts reconciliation meeting, the neutralization has to be in place, so.
Yeah. Next item concerns our IT director, Mr. Mays. Good morning, Scott.
Morning.
Tell us what you want.
We've got a annual software subscription renewal due for Autodesk CAD mapping software. We use this in our surveyor's office primarily to create, maintain, update the maps for the county. And it's also used in our highway department to look at those maps and adjust those maps. So annual renewal for that is $10,161.91. CDW is our reseller for that software license.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? One of the more highly used computer programs in the county, isn't it? Yeah.
Carl, I'll make a motion that we enter into that agreement with CDWG, $10,161.97.
I will second that motion. Motion been made by Larry and seconded to consider that renewal with CDWG. Again, the amount was $10,161.97. That's a 1-year renewal. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Carl, can I add one
Those
thing?
opposed? Yep.
We have dozens of software and user agreements throughout county government. Scott's department handles many of those agreements, not all of them. I wish he'd handle all of them. Because I have seen, I think Scott does an excellent job leaning on these companies and individuals and getting the best value for our dollar. And thank you for doing that, Scott, because it does show up. I would venture to say you cover your salary in agreement revenue that we save.
Hope so.
And no, we're not gonna double it because of that. We'll have to take that up with the county
You did that
council.
right away, didn't you?
But anyway, it's a wise thing to keep it in his umbrella. And because he negotiates for the county. So thank you, Scott.
Larry has the clerk's report here to give us.
I do have the clerk's monthly report signed by our Bartholomew County Clerk Sherry Lentz. A lot of numbers, everything appears to be in order. I'll move that we accept that report into our minutes for the month of April.
I'll second that motion. Motion made by Larry and seconded to approve the clerk's report for April of 2026. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Danny, we're down to you. Danny Hollander, our highway engineer, with us today. And I just was thinking about, I had a son that I think was complaining about trees along the right of way. Then as I came here this morning, I need to call Brian Burton, corner of Waycross and Joe Linda, Concrete Street. And the east side of that intersection, the concrete's popped out. Really a good bump. You know, with 700-mile of roads, there's just a lot of stuff that can happen in there, Danny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's always happening. It's always something.
Not to steal your thunder, but go ahead.
I got 2 weeks of crew reports. The week of the 18th, 22nd, we bermed roads for overlay, replaced culvert pipes on Base Road and 170 West. We cleaned out a bunch of culvert pipes. We was getting ready to get a good rain, so we cleaned out a bunch of pipes. We pulled stone back on Gladstone, 1175 East and 600 East, where the water had gone over the road, kind of washed the shoulder into the field, so we tried to pull it back out. We got trees on 500 West and Walesboro and 1200 East, and we ditched in Karen Court, and we were out Durapatching. And last week we completed our berming for our overlay roads, and then we did driveway pipes on 100 South, 400 West. We did ditching on 600 South and on Rogers Street. Picked up trash out of the right of way and patched roads with the Durapatcher. And Milestones out paving, they completed, well, almost. We got most of everything done except 700 North on last year's overlay, and then they're hitting this year's overlay. Pretty good. So they did 800 East, 600 North, 500 East, Enon Road, and 250 South.
Okay.
And you should have some monthly reports up there as well.
Yeah. Yep. I would make a motion. We've got April's financial report and also budget status and revenue report. I'd make a motion. We accept Karen's monthly financial report.
I'll second.
Motion made by myself and seconded to enter the April 26 financial highway reports into the record. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
Danny, I'll put a plug in for Dwight. And I'm sure Dwight didn't do the work, but I know somebody did it. Thursday, I got a call from a neighbor of mine that lives north of me about a dead tree that had fallen and was leaning against the AT&T wires on the east side of 500 West. So I drove by it and looked at it, and he said that he had called AT&T and they said that they wouldn't do anything about it until it fell. So I said, well,
It's already fell. It's just.
it's already fallen. But anyway, I called Dwight. I actually texted Dwight and said, hey, it's going to fall at some point, some dark night, and end up in our county road, because it was a pretty decent sized tree. And so he got up there the next morning and put it on the ground safely, and so we won't get a call late at night. And it was up over a rise where somebody could have had an accident. So I appreciate them being willing to do that and prevent, a worse situation. So thank him for that. I thanked him myself, but
Will do.
yeah.
I mean, I wish that, well, electric company's really good about it, but phone
Yeah.
company's not good about
Okay.
responding.
And if you've got a bucket, it's a pretty easy, it's 2 cuts with a chainsaw. But on the
If something
ground,
happen though, if we break the line, then we're liable
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. yeah, but
sometimes
anyway,
it's
thanks for
gotta be-
doing that, and it makes life easier for the sheriff's deputies too. If we get those dead trees before they're on our roads.
I think the next item then is, we ready for Jim to open the bids?
May report. I know
Huh?
you approved the April.
We don't have a May report
That was,
yet.
that's all they
Okay,
had
it
was,
is-
they,
it's
yeah,
approved.
we already referred to April last week.
All right, we have 3 bids, all 3 were in conformance. First bid was Milestone Contractors of Columbus for $1,499,572.80. The second bid was Dave Lemare Contractor out of North Vernon for $1,653,514.60. The third bid was All Star Paving from Seymour with $1,824,463.40.
Larry?
Let's take them under advisement and review them.
Right, and we are awarding these road by road, so those total bids really don't mean anything other than indication of where the prices are, but each road will be awarded individually.
And we can do that because we're not using Community Crossings money.
Right.
For this,
Right. So,
Project.
yeah, I'll go through and
okay? I'll make a motion, we take those proposals under advisement.
And I'll second that motion. Motion made by Larry and seconded to take the overlay bids under advisement, and think next week we can probably award them.
yes,
So we will make a decision then next Monday, which leads us to our next regularly scheduled meeting will be next Monday, June 8th, back here. I do want to thank all those bidders, if any of the bidders are here from those various companies, for bidding on this project. And summer's slipping away and lots of work to get done yet. So with that, any other items to bring before the commissioners today? Seeing none, we are adjourned.